Hello. And hey, there we go. Hello. Everyone's doing well today? Everyone's having a good day so far? Alright, I need to finish getting my setup done. I'm terrible for this, I swear. Oh, did I not multi-stream again? Yeah, I failed the multi-stream. Dude, I don't even know why it fails it most of the time. I guess we're only on YouTube today. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, let me get music. Alright, so it seems. Hey Roger, how's it going? Also, apparently my thing is broken. That's an interesting break that's happened there. Let me... I'm mildly impressed how Restream has managed to... What the fuck is that? What has happened to the chat? MMO networking pain, video is gone, Sag. No. What the fuck is going on at the moment? I'm just gonna take this out. And put this back in. There we go. That should be fine. Alright, where's my music? Oh god, cat, please. Oh. Gotta love when they turn around and to do that, they like put their paws into your fucking liver. Actually, it's more my kidneys, but you know. Alright. I am feeling a little bit more awake today, comparative to yesterday, which is a good sign. But yeah, I'm still feeling a little shite, a little distracted. I'll admit as well, this morning has been a wild one for setting some stuff up. And yeah, I regret my own actions. Do not worry though, it should not affect today's stream. Hopefully. I might talk about it a little bit though. But nonetheless, today's stream is pretty linear, pretty focused. We'll be fine. Should be. No, I need to open up this and refresh this. Okay. Has that fixed it? Hey, that fixed that. Cool. Ooh. Alright, because I'm pretty sure, yes, that's not working. Yeah, oh well. Alright. But yeah, I guess we're just doing a YouTube stream only today. I wish I understood the issues that stuff had more so I could better prevent why they occur, but none of it makes sense. Also, you'll notice the lighting's a little different. That's because I'm not using the room lights. I'm actually opening up my curtain for the main lighting. We'll see how it goes. In the past, it's been pretty touch and go, but 1, we've changed position, and 2, we're starting to get into slightly brighter mornings again. Now that we're out of the deep dark winter times. So hopefully the lighting will be a little bit better, and I can use this instead. I don't really like running the lights that long. It's rough. Alright. Oh, but yeah, you know what I want to talk about? You wanna know what I've gotta remind myself? Yeah, I mean, the short answer is whatever your season is, it's normally the opposite for me. Because the majority of the people in the world live in the upper hemisphere, I live in the southern hemisphere, and we get fucked for that. Also, hey, vendor. But yeah, no, fucking, yeah, no, it's winter time here, so it's kind of fun for them. Whoop. Sorry, I had that over there because I was chatting with some people this morning. One thing I was chatting about with a friend, and I'm trying to convince him to join me on it, is that there's the Miku Expo tour thing that's coming to New Zealand. There's going to be a thing in Auckland and on, is it November 15th? I'm thinking of dragging him along with me for that. Because he's also interested. He's just, like, completely socially inept and is a recluse, so it makes it quite difficult to convince. But I know he'll enjoy it. Like, that's the problem, is he's the kind of person that says no, goes, enjoys it, but it's that, like, getting from step 1 to step 2 is the hardest part with him. I mean this with the utmost love to the man. He's great, but oh my god, the amount of times that it's been like, dude, you should do this. It's like, nah, I don't want to do it. Eventually, months of convincing does it. Oh, you know, this is really good. Anger, actual anger. So today, what were we doing? We were working on Shy Lily yesterday. Let's keep working on Shy Lily while I talk about something that I'm gonna also try and work on. I think that sounds reasonable. So I've talked about this before though. I really want to do multiplayer now on this game. And it's been something that I have tossed and turned with for quite a bit now. And the reason we're not working on it short and simply at the moment is none other than its feature creep. And I think I need to get the next update out to you guys before I allow feature creep dev moments to occur. Right, so that is purely it. That is the only reason it's not getting added in at the moment. So I've been researching not shaders, surfaces, that's the word. Surfaces at the moment quite a bit in Game Maker because they're actually a really powerful tool and I should be using them more. That's how we do our shadows, that's how we do a couple of other little things that we've added recently. Just because I've been learning about them and I can actually allow to use them. So that's awesome, right? Cool. Thing is, there's another feature I've wanted to add. It's multiplayer. And I found out this morning and I can't believe I didn't notice this before, but I found out this morning GameMaker has inherent stuff for multiplayer. I knew that. I didn't realize it had inherent for rollback. So holy shit. That's really, really good. I'm genuinely quite surprised at that. So what I'm going to do, not this update, again, I'm not doing it this update, but next update, we are going to be shifting to allow for multiplayer. I'm 100% doing that now. I am confirming it. I'm not going to bother anymore because it feels like the correct direction to go with the way the game's going. Godot has built-in networking multiplayer. A lot of them do nowadays. Right? And that's cool. Just decided to, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the typical MO for you, Roger, as well as most programmers. But, I mean, if you're going to give me inherent built rollback multiplayer, I'm gonna use that. I'm probably gonna have to custom code a few things, though. I don't know how weapons are gonna work, for example, and I don't know how re-randomizing seeds are gonna work. Because I do re-randomize the seed for a game on a semi-regular basis. And from what I heard, that might cause me issues because I believe what happens is the server sets the seed and then the clients copy the seed, which is how you can kind of maintain random to being the same. However, if I'm reseeding the randomizing, reseeding the seed, then that might backfire on me, so I might have to remove a lot of my reseeding, which is fine. Because for the most part, as long as I randomize at the beginning of the game, it should be fine. Or beginning of rounds, maybe, which at that point in time, that is when the server would be being made, so that's, I think, reasonable. Also, I've not tied my hair up today, so I can see it, like, push, like, how much of it's pushed to the back. There's a reason why I tie it back, because it just lumps out so much. Because I don't like hair in this space when I've got headphones on, because it just feels really weird. Because it just pushes it too far forward. But my hair's also getting, like, really long and puffy. Which is good. I like having long hair again. It's nice. So yeah, we'll work on Shaylily today. I might work on some reorganization factors. I had to send a message to my friend, briefly going like, I apologize in advance when the next update comes around, because like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking destroy shit. Where is this? Because like, there's a good argument, by the way, I want to stress. Like, if I'm gonna go further with with the code, if I find a weakness with the rollback that GameMaker has, like, I'm gonna have to basically just recode it then from the ground up, which is why I'm like very hesitant on it. Because, yeah, what happens if I can't handle items and abilities correctly through it? The worst part for me is that I have to have different code for server versus client objects. Well, I mean, that's pretty standard, right? Like, that's how that works. What? I'm confused slightly by that statement. It's like, yeah, that's typically what it is. Look, don't get me wrong, I've not worked with multiplayer as much as, yes, but I still hate it. Well, that's fair. Networking is a nightmare. Yes, it is. That's why I'm kind of interested to see how Game Maker's stuff is, because like genuinely the code for it, if you allow me to just Game Maker rollback. Come on. Here we go. Then create a multiplayer game. We'll use this as kind of a showing of like why I'm interested to play around with Game Makers, because it's just like, that's basically how you do it. That's pretty much it. There's a bunch more little extra things you can add to this. You have join game as well with it all. There's inherent input systems, and then there's the defining input system here, which like this means, ironically enough, I can probably just take my get input command system that I've got and edit it with this pretty easily. Like there's this for setting the locations, and there's also inherent mock input, and then yeah, like I'll be able to use kind of this sort of logic system here and work with it. So what I'm going to have to do though, if I'm going to follow that idea, is I'm going to have to shift a huge amount of stuff that is currently hosted inside of this create. There's a lot of stuff inside of this create, this specifically this initialization, and a lot of stuff that is inside of no, this one. This is going to have to get pretty much heavily shifted into the player. Hi mouth, womp womp. Womp womp to you as well. But yeah, like that is kind of why multiplayer is going to be a rough thing to add, but I'm committed to it. Again, it's the part of it that I'm actually not looking forward to is the process of basically going to have to go through the UI and disable where everything's getting its information, and then just tell my friend to have to reconnect a lot of things and get new information, because all of it's going to be handled very differently. That's pretty much it, and I feel bad for my friend that he's going to have to deal with that. So let's just start with the simple things of getting the correct eyes through. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with all of that. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare in its own regard. I'm looking forward to it though. Again, after the research I've done, to do it up cleanly is going to probably be like a solid couple of weeks worth of like just working on it. But it's something that like I can probably come out the other side and have it just done, and have clear-cut systems around it that should be nice and easy to work with. So we'll see how it all goes. Okay, so I have added the shadow to the head, which sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Kind of funny seeing the short hair. Isn't there actually a toggle on her model for short hair? Now that I'm kind of like having a moment. I'm not like completely daft with that, right? I swear there's a thing for that. I'm pretty sure there's a toggle. Now I'm questioning myself. What engine am I making the game in? I am making it in Game Maker. I'm not working on the programming side just at the moment, but I can toggle over to show that in just a moment. Once I sort out this. But if I put my pen down for a moment, there. This is the game. I can launch it very quickly to show just kind of it is a rough idea. Yeah, just I do think the multiplayer shift is going to be the wise choice. But again, next update, I can't. It's going to be. Because what I'm gonna probably do is because I'm gonna have to do the Steam integration stuff soon. And while I'm doing that, I'm pretty sure I can use that to fill in a slot of information that I'm gonna need for the multiplayer stuff, because you do need to have region of the server, I believe. When doing the server stuff, so I think I can do it via that. Is the game going to be like online or just a single player funny? It was originally intended to just be single player, but I've now shifted to the desire to kind of want to do a bit of a multiplayer aspect to it. Not you have to play it a multiplayer, but like again, if you've played League Swarm game mode is a good example of kind of where I'm heading with the idea. But I do need to finish a lot of assets this week, is the desire. I mean, we need to get that background good. I also need to fix the randomization for that, because I do think that the randomization weighting for what things you get on upgrades is still a little too much. Because at the moment, like, this is only the stuff that I can get out of Iron Mouse. I feel like that should be high, but it shouldn't be that high. Like, there's Forgotten Poem. That'd be a nice one to get, but it's harder to get because of the thing. I do hope it's going to get traction after you release it. You poured your heart into it. I mean, yes and no, right? So, okay, this sounds... Yes to I poured my heart into it. No, I don't really care if it gets traction. It would be nice. I do think that would be the best case scenario. But realistically, if it doesn't, I take it as a learning, right? Like, the amount of stuff I've learned from making this game is... It's more about, like, what I've learned from this game, what I can do in the next one, right? And I stand by, I'm going to still commit to working on this game for as long as I possibly can. Feasibly. But there's limits, right? But I do like this game. I see a lot of potential with it, especially once a few things are cleaned up. And the fact that I can enjoy playing it as it is now says the most to me. yeah. I mean, next update's gonna have, what, bosses in as well, finally. I'm gonna have the bosses back again. So you can actually finish a run. I'm gonna have to have, because yeah, that's the thing, is on release, I guess I gotta have the timers, right? Like your fastest run time on things like that. Gotta have your multiplayer tracking. I guess I should also kind of consider, like, do I want to make a like a leaderboard? That's been something I've considered a few times, but I don't think I will. Not at this stage. Maybe a later point when we have more resources to spare, because I'm gonna have to put that to a data point for storage, and I'm not gonna bother with that unless I can really need to, I think. Do you ever have a potential future project in mind? And game maker, I'd give birth to some great things. Sound really ambitious with at worst it's a learning experience. I mean, yes and no, right? So I already know what the next game I'm going to work on is. I have the design documents written up for it, and I have some tutorials that I have gone through and I will go through as I start to make the project. But I mean, like, ambition's a great thing when it comes to this sort of field. Because by having ambition, it means that I can take everything as a stepping stone. Every mistake, every positive thing, all of them are stepping stones. Do I have a grand goal in mind? I mean, I have a few. I have a couple of games I'd love to make, but I know they would require assets and technical stuff that I can't do, or I'm not capable of doing in the current stage, or just aren't feasible for me to do on my own. I mean, the short answer is I have a game that I wanted to work on years ago, and it's been shelved eternally at this point, since me and my friend worked on it for a little while and realized we just weren't capable of doing it. And I'd love to work on it again, but I'm also, realistically, I'm looking at it and going, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that unless I have a team of, like, at least 50 people. Right? And at the moment, I can't do that. I can't pay people to turn up to do stuff for me, so... Which, again, long-term goal, I'd love to be indie development and a small little company that I can have people like that and work on projects. It'd be awesome. But, until that point, I have to be realistic. So, yeah. Damn, 50 people, that's a big project, yeah. Well, I mean, to give an idea, that's still a small fucking game dev team. I think Helldivers was about 100 people, right? And that took them like 8 years to make that. Kind of think on that sort of scale. It's not quite Helldivers as a game, but like it's that sort of concept of like, for what I'd want, it would definitely be too small of a team. That's why I say minimum of 50. I definitely would like a lot more, but that would require so much money that I can't really comprehend that. 50 I can kind of comprehend paying, if things end up positively in my future. I mean, like, that's why I say, like, the next game I'm working on, I am monetizing. Because, simply, I can't afford to make more than a few games in a row without at least having one of them going like, hey, I kind of need, like, $3, please. Which I want to stress, like, that is the point of the next one, is the next one is going to be of a higher quality, and is going to be designed around the intention that it is marketable, which means that I need it to be way better. I wish you a great future with this. Donkey's made it big now, maybe your next project will turn out... Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right, is there's a lot of options available to me. I mean, I've talked about this many a times, we're kind of in a golden age when it comes to game development. because it's easier than ever. It's like everything's just so much better now if you want to actually get into game dev. The fact that, in a sense, all the tools I'm working with in the game itself are free. I'm using paid for versions of certain things, but you can pretty much do all of this on your own. I mean, fuck, I could be using paint instead of A-spray, and it would be perfectly fine. In fact, I know someone that's done that. So, gotta be being realistic. Yeah, it's fucking easy to make a game. If you're passionate and you know what you want to, like, kind of want to make something, then go ahead. Just the one thing I always say is temper your expectations for your first project. Because, I mean, that's why this game, the biggest problem was I overscoped, and I'm still overscoping, but now I'm at a point where the overscoping I've done, I can accomplish, but because of that, this has taken almost 2 years. Like, this is over a 1.5-year project now, which is far, far too long for a project that's not actually going to make money. In a sense. I hoped to have this done last year, if that gives an idea. And I'm still not even sure it's going to be, like, on Steam this year. My hope is, but, you know... I also probably want to move this bit up here. Kind of reflect the movement. But yeah, like, I give huge props to, I was gonna say 1.5 years for a single dev game doesn't sound that long. I mean, like, yeah, again, it's that thing of kind of think of it as the idea of I've just worked like, sure, free time, mind you, that's when I've been working on this, and I have been doing a degree while I was doing it before, but that was, in a sense, that's 1.5 years of a part-time job I'm not getting paid for. When you put it in that kind of way of looking at it, it's like, okay, volunteering for a job for a 1.5 years it's rough, especially when you're like not in your teens. Because there's a painful need to eat, and there's not exactly someone there to go, hey, here's some food when you get home. So since I don't have a support environment, I have to be realistic with a lot of my things. Which leads to more depressing realizations that you don't like, and you get upset and sad. That reminds me, I need to ask Psycho about how he's intending to play the game. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, is, yeah, time is, I don't like using this argument, but time is money, after all. And you do kind of have to accept that. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to make this look. Yeah, that'll do. But that's why, in a sense, what I'm doing with this project is, if I can complete this and work on the next one, and that makes me at least a little bit of money back, and I'm happy with that, or streaming picks up enough that I can use that to fund the game dev, stuff like that, right? Like there's all those sorts of arguments. Then yeah, I can keep going, keep working on it. But otherwise, again, it's a learning experience as well as its portfolio, right? If I wanted to go work at, say, Riot Games or many of the other studios, I can also I can just go like, hey, look at these games I've released. You can see like what I'm capable of. We're grown, man, and everyone will turn out better. Even if you think I'm not acting often, just show me, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta survive. Gotta do the best you can. Sometimes it's rough. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. That's the short answer. What color would that be? I feel like I need to still just keep that white. Okay, now we need to fix the fucking head shadows. There we go. Having a background of doing something is always better. Lawyers love it when you have 18 years of your life and yeah. Exactly, right? I mean, I've got a lot of experience in software engineering and programming, so I already look rather desirable in a lot of regards, but there is definitely some like room for still improvement, right? One of you farted. You cats, it smells bad. Take the side and we're going to shrink it over a little bit. So I can also take this side and move it over a little bit as well. Let's see. Not to take anywhere. I think what you do is impressive. There's always room for improvement. Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? No, I mean, I'm probably one of my, definitely by far one of my worst critics I'll ever get. And that's very common, right? There's a lot of people who will find that their worst critic is themselves. That's fine. I enjoy that side of it all still enough that I find it fine. There we go. As a guy in an anime said, no one hates me, but yeah. Well, I mean, it's something I've learned in my many years, is just no one's a better bully and critic than yourself. But as like any good anime with a shonen story, there's a rival, right? You've always got to have a rival with the main character, because then the rival is what makes the character grow. And there's that fine line of how the main character approaches that rival is actually how they grow. So, I'll admit, some days I get that balance wrong, but I definitely aim most days to basically take that in stride. Say, look at what the bully is saying, and what can I learn from that? Why is it saying that? Oh, it's saying that because I am inadequate in this space. Why? Is it worth me caring? Kind of? Okay. What do I do to improve that then? Right? Old man wisdom hours. Gotta love it. But yeah, that's genuinely how I kind of like approach that sort of stuff as much as I can. Again, with how recent times have been, I got my fucking nads kicked in a few times with that, but hey. How many VTubers you want to have in the game? How many VTubers you got? I've not got a set number at this point. However, I've said to many people, like, we've got a list at the moment here of these are the characters in the game. These are the future characters that I'm adding on at the moment. So we've got Shylily, Rin, Matara, and Monarch. Rin and Matara are going to be next update. These Monarch and Shylily are this update. Monarch is in, technically. Her abilities aren't fully functional. Shylily, I mean, she's actually ironically more in the game than Monarch is, because her weapon and item have been in the game since, I think they were like the third or fourth item I made. Third or fourth things that I made. They're real early creations. And then future characters that I do not know when they are, but I want to work on. We've got Melody, we've got Mume, we've got Fuwawa Mokoko, we've got also Mani, Filian, Nyanas, Crony, Haruka, Oli, Neurosama, and Zintra are the ones that I immediately want to work on. But yeah, I've got a lot that I want to work on. I mean, like, if you want to actually, again, if I just load the game up and go to the character select, you'll see that there's a lot of characters in there. And this is why this game takes so long, is because I have to do all of these art assets, and this shit takes me forever because I'm bad at art. This is why I've said many a times, once I get monetization of some capacity that I can sustainably make games with and all that, do you have any idea how much money of that is going towards art asset creation, like hiring artists? Because I don't want to fucking do this shit myself anymore. But yeah, here we go. These are all the characters. Can stop running in place. There we go. I think Vampire Survivors has something like 20 characters. Oh, it has a lot more than that nowadays. It has a lot of characters. Base-wise, I think probably 20, but like, especially when you include DLCs and stuff, that's a lot more. But like, that's the point, right? Is like, I'm just adding them because these are people that I'm passionate about and interested about and stuff like that. Like, genuinely, that's it. Also, yes, I have put a lot of effort into making sure heights are actually in the game. And outside of Monarch, all of these are actually in their accurate heights. The only reason Monarch isn't is because Monarch doesn't actually have an official height. Fuck you, Monarch. I think I had to base it off something else, but hey. Content with the list already? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? That's why I'm releasing... when, again, the next update after this one I'm working on at the moment will be the Steam release, so that means plus 3 characters to this list, right? So that would be a total of 5, 6. Fucking doing quick math is never good to do on stream. 11, 12, right? Yeah, 12 characters on initial release. I think that's more than adequate, especially with the complexity of what each character offers, because they have their own weapons, which, mind you, other characters can obtain those, but then they also have their passive, their ability. They have the item, and then they have the EX and the assist as well. Which, again, not all of that's rigged up fully correctly. Some of that still needs a little bit of work, but we'll get it going in the future. But yeah, like the fact that we have the assist system as well, which it's not, again, functioning fully. Yeah, that's what I expected. Of course it fucking crashes, because I have messed with the code far too much since it worked. Because, again, as an explanation for assists, which I don't know when they're going to get fully finished, I'll probably have that trying to get done this week. But assists are basically kind of like what you get in a fighter game, right? So, if you've ever played, like, I don't know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is the one that I think of immediately, right? The All-Star Battle. That one is a good example of kind of what I mean by supports. It's a character that you equip secondarily to your main character that gives you a character's thing to use. So in this case, it will give you their assist, and it will also give you their ability as well, or access to get their ability. That is the intention. Which has led to a lot of rebalancing that we've moved to that position. Especially if they're locked behind doing specific things. I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Is a few of the characters will be progression locked when we have progression in the game. Not many other characters, mind you, but only a few, sort of thing. It's funny, your example of... Yeah, I mean... It's probably the fighting game in recent years that I've played the most, by a long shot. Because I don't really tend to... I'm not much of a fighter game person, outside of like when I can play it at arcades. Or on console at a friend's house. I basically never owned them myself. I always would play them at other people's places, or like at places that allowed for it. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, like All-Star Battle R, was the one that caught my eye the most because it was on PC and all that sort of stuff, and I really, really enjoyed playing it. So yeah, it's the one that I've played the most recent. I don't think I'm probably gonna pick up like the Tekken or Soul Calibur, I think it is, or any of those ones really. They're just not. Again, I'm not an enjoyer of fighter games. I enjoy JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I kind of enjoy fighter games from time to time. That's kind of where that came in. Never get any good at them. I mean, that's kind of my issue, is I've explained this to many people in my time, and it's a really weird one to explain because it sounds like I'm just a fucking asshole that's tooting my own horn. But I am very quick at picking up a game and getting to a very adequate level, but then like getting past that adequate level is what takes me fucking forever. Which means that I'm horrendous to play quick games with. So the perfect example of this I have is bowling. So when I would go like do temp and bowling, the first game I play, it's a fucking wash, right? Like I might get maybe a spare or maybe a strike if I'm lucky, all that. I come away with points. I mean, I hit pins. I maybe get a gutter ball or two. Shit like that. Second game I play, if I play it back to back, like if we're playing with people, I'm going like, okay, let's do a second round. I get like easily 4 or 5 strikes. Or spares. And like the rest of the time, yeah, it's high points. I don't think I basically hit anything that's not like 7 pin or up. But then I can't like do much better than that. So that's kind of the definition of how I play video games. It's like that. I'll pick it up, I'm decent at it pretty quickly, and then all that. I suck at every game I play. Well, I mean, this is the problem, is that because I'm such a perfectionist, I get into this like permanent spiral of wanting to do better. And then if I get like having fun and being good at something, it becomes a spiraling point and I just struggle. So it's a blessing and a curse. Take it as that. Like that's what I would probably put it down to the most. Okay, so I had it like this with the previous spot. Honestly, you could probably just leave it as is. I don't see that needed to be changed. Other than, I think... but that was the body needs to get tweaked there. Okay. We'll leave that as is. Okay, there. Not to be mean, but yeah, sounds like you're really solid at playing games in general. Maybe a quick learner, kind of hard to say with the bowling specifically. Yeah, like, I know what my skill is, which is, again, like, that's why I say adequate level. But if I get, like, really, really intense with it, it just takes me so long to actually get, like, proficient at things. Warframe and League, well, League less so nowadays because I don't play it as much, but, like, Warframe's one that even now I can pick it up and I can still move around after, like, a minute at a really, really high capacity and do a lot of amazing things. League, I used to be really, really good at, getting to, like, high ranks, especially when Oceania, like, actually had a server. I hit the highest ranks that you could. I mean, I was there when Challenger was added and hit it when it initially got added. But nowadays, again, since I haven't practiced my skills, I'd be assuming I'm probably like high gold or maybe emerald if I'm lucky, based on what I'm seeing of gameplay. And that's just kind of skill inflation as the time's gone on. Warframe has PvP. Or do you mean... well, I mean just like in general, all of the content in it. Like the mobility in it, I've got very, very fluid control and movement in there. The positioning, the know how to hit things. I mean, like, I don't think... outside of like unique or new enemies, I don't think I know how to not hit a headshot sort of thing. Stuff like that, right? Like, I'm very, very capable with my positioning and my awareness. It's still good muscle memory for League. Well, I mean, like, the thing is, right, so something I learned recently when they released Arena is the biggest thing I noticed. I cannot play around plants. The blast cone thing. I can't, my brain isn't used to it existing. So when I'm trying to do kiting and stuff like that, I'll click on it. Because I'm not used to not clicking on it. Which has killed my friends many a times to their dismay. In fact, I've gotten a lot of hate from my friends because of that. So too good muscle memory. Yeah, exactly. Like I remember playing like Twitch ADC back when you can just basically play him as a fucking assassin with old Bork stacking or cleaver stacking and shit. I mean, again, probably the best example of in recent times, this should probably give an idea. In recent times, the most I played and got really good at was when the old masteries were in with Fervor of Battle, and like I could play tank Echo top when he'd just come out, kind of thing. Him with Trinity Force, Fervor of Battle, and using the slow on his passive to kind of beat them down, get them prepped for ganks and stuff. I would also play Rek'Sai at the time, and I would play the Ward Smite. The Ward, I think it was like, it's white? No, white was the counter jungle one, wasn't it? Is it Green Smite, I think? With the Cinderhulk enchantment? Which, again, these words, if you don't understand these, that's fine. But this is like, to anyone that does understand these, they'll know exactly kind of where I played most of my league. I think I stopped playing about the time Zoe came out, because I just was really sick of the game at that stage. One of the biggest things that turned me off from League, actually, was the Ardent Sensor Soraka meta. If anyone knows about that meta, you'll understand. And it's also when I stopped watching professional League of Legends, because I just couldn't bother watching every game being, hey, did you pick Soraka Kog'Maw in the bot lane because Grievous Wounds had been reworked to being only self-healing? So great. Honestly, if you Google Cinderhulk enchantment in League wikis, you'll kind of get a gauging of time from that. Actually, how long ago was that? Now I want to know. Cinderhulk. Alright. Yeah, so this is what it was. It was this gem that you socketed it into the different blades. There was more upgrades at one point, but I think Stalker's Blade was the most common because that was your Chilling Smite. When was this in the game? Or when was it removed is probably a better question. But basically, to give an idea, this thing would... It was so good. It gave you percentage max health. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so I think it was Tracker's Knife I would run, but I would also run Trailblazer when necessary. Depends on the thing. Okay, so when was 10.23? When was this update? Are you going to tell me? Here we go. November 2020. That is when I was playing probably some of the most. Going back to the game, which would you say is worse? Coding or pixel art? 100% pixel art. To stress a point that I've said a few times, and I think this is a very valid point to make on my game specifically, to make a character, it probably takes me 3 to 4 days to make a character, and 3 to 4 of those days is art. I'm not even joking. I can probably get a character fully added into a game if I had all of its assets in about a day. Easily. Like half a day, most likely. If it's got a complex mechanic and stuff like that, then maybe a bit longer, but most time, yeah. That's where I sit with, like, how fast I can probably produce things into this game. It's just pure and simply, I'm not good at art, and it's noticeable to me. Also, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Now, I need to add the tattoo change thing here. Gotta find you a pixel artist. I mean, I stand by, yeah. Like, the problem is, who's gonna work for free, right? I would love to hire someone, but I can't afford to. And that's why the next game's gonna be very dev art initially, and then I'm gonna try and Kickstarter it. Because it's gonna require a lot of art assets. I'm gonna have to hire at least 3 artists off the top of my head alone to get it done within an adequate amount of time. But that's why, like, I know how much I'll need for that. And then I'll also know how much I need to justify me working on it. Because I'll need money to basically pay to eat while making it, surprisingly. It's a surprising concept, I know. Maybe I should just quiet it up and shut the fuck up. I don't need to eat. Right? It's not important. Better than me. I always want to make a VTuber game, but don't know how to do all this stuff. Well, I mean, tutorials are so readily available at the moment for Godot and GameMaker, especially, and both of those are really great programming tools for solo or small teams. And art assets, I can't help you more than saying just fucking doesn't matter early on. I'm at a stage where I'm trying to finish up the game, so that's where art becomes, like, more important. Otherwise, yeah. Oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. But yeah, no, highly recommend it. If you want some suggestions, I mean, again, GameMaker is what I personally work with. There is an excessive amount of tutorials around what GameMaker has. They have a YouTube channel where they post regular stuff, and they post assets, they post all sorts of cool things, and they have interactive tutorials as well. They also have visual code, which is really, really good for when you're starting out. Highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. You don't need to know what you're doing to make a game. I mean, fuck it. I always use this example, but Undertale is a bunch of if statements and switch statements, which is like horrendous code, but it works. You don't need to know how to code, you just need to be passionate and want to make a game, and you can make a game. It's really easy. Well, okay, it's hard to make, but it's a lot easier to get into than people think it is. Sorry, I didn't compliment your art, by the way. Thing looks great. Oh, no, look, again, I know I'm probably harder on myself than I should be. I'm not saying the art is the worst thing in the universe. I just hate my own art, and I know I'm never adequate enough for what I want. It's just how that is. And it will be an internal struggle for me. I will genuinely never be happy with my own art, and that's why I just want to move away from doing my own art as well. Because the amount of stress, anxiety, and just like unhappiness I get from doing my own art is just not worth it, I think. Watch a guy code bullet on YouTube. Oh, no, it's for you. I did not learn GameMaker, but yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right, is I don't know how you feel. No, I mean, it's imposter syndrome, right? Like, in an aspect of it. Again, outside of now in the game, outside of the buttons that are in that I added recently from an asset bundle that I grabbed, these buttons here, everything else I've made. And that has killed me so much. Right, like if we're looking at all of the characters, I mean, there's a reason why some of it's still like heavy dev asset. I mean, fuck it, just look at the directional arrow and realize that was something I made over a year ago in less than a minute. and has yet to be replaced. I'm hoping to replace it soon. Also, I'm noticing that the camera is... There we go. It's freezing a little bit by launching the game. I fucking press exit immediately. Good on me. Need to make maybe a bit of a better buffer window for that. Since it's all details, but even then, I cannot see the details. The artists are always... Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? It's an impossible thing to deal with because, like, the amount of times because I used to do a lot of art when I was much younger in high school and stuff. And the amount of times I saw people that were extremely talented put themselves down. It's like, oh, it's because of this detail here. And it's like, look, that's fair. But you should learn from that. That's the problem, is I'm far beyond that point. I absolutely hate doing art because I've had such negative experiences with it now that it's put me off. Like, this is one of the ones I'm probably most proud of because it's one of the more updated ones as well. And has always been one of the prettier ones to me that I did. I mean, one of the ones that I'm most proud of is Juniper, and that's not because of this. You want to see something really fucking cool? Let's get into mission. And then I'm going to force level up. We're going to look for... Okay, Mothaholic. Look at Juniper right now. Transformed. And then... let's try and find Moth Goop again. Oh, Mothaholic. There we go. And... boom. And to kind of talk on passion, I did all three of those in the space of about, if I was to collate it, probably a day and a half. I did all three of those models, all of their animations and everything. I think the base model got a bit of a touch-up, but... also, to kind of maybe date it, at the time, that was the last model Juniper had made, was the Fanta one. Which I think she's gone through like 2 or 3 more models since. So, 3 of them. Yeah, again, like I was super, super enthusiastic and passionate about it. But then also, just as a little thing I didn't show in there, do you want to see what Juniper's ult looks like? This is what her ult looks like. If it opens up the image. There we go. One day this is going to actually get finished, I swear to God, and not be a placeholder. Again, that I probably sketched up in less than a minute or 2, and it's been left in the game since because I've just not had the time to replace it. Because I want to do... Okay, you want to know why I kind of hate Juniper's concept? So Juniper is, because she makes her own models, that's why Mothaholic was the thing. That's why I've put a lot of effort into it. Keep it, it looks amazing. I kind of want to, at least maybe as a secret or something. But like, I always wanted to have her model shifting. Like, I do agree it would probably be accurate for Zen, but it's also that argument of, I kind of do want to do skins at some point. But so I think I gave this argument the other day when someone asked about skins. The only reason skins aren't in the game as of yet is because, again, the thing that takes the longest for doing each character is the art assets. So if you're telling me to do the art assets again for a character, it's going to be delayed. So, yeah, it's, I mean, what? We've got all this stuff in here. We've also, I mean, one of the ones I'm still sad about is that I'm not going to be able to use this one effectively. So again, like, the reason skins aren't done is, again, the simple reason of just art assets. But we had this one done. This was back, again, probably dating this. I think I talked about this the other day. I made this, and like the same weekend I made this was when she announced her graduation. Which made me so fucking sad. But at least we've got a character that came in to replace her, that's going to be in the next update. Right, totally not anything to do with her, called Matara Khan. But I'm gonna be... like, one suggestion someone gave was like making Nina maybe like a shop owner or something like that, or like just an NPC, and I kind of agree with the idea of maybe adding it, just because it would be a bit of a shame to not use that model, because it does look really, really cool, and there is not enough beautiful fox mamas out there. Like an Easter egg. Yeah, no, again, like that's... To be fair, there's already going to be at least one secret character in the game that is going to require a lot of stuff to get. But there is intention to add more than one secret character. I'm going to leave it at that. Who's my Oshi? See, now I will always kind of say the difficulty with that is that it's just like, I love so many VTubers, but I would probably argue Iron Mouse is probably just the most valid argument there. Because she is the one that taught me, regardless of what hand life has dealt you, you can make something out of it. It is up to you to make it, though. You can't just have things handed to you. You can't just do things like... While I've not got the same sort of issues that she does, I have my own health conditions that restrict my life in a capacity very different to hers again. But like, I was able to, even when it got told to me, I was not in a great place. This was like last year. A lot of my life was kind of falling apart for a lot of reasons, and it's someone like her that was able to help me kind of realize that it's okay and that life is really fucking difficult. But again, you can pick yourself up and keep going. So I guess that's why I consider her in the Oshi category. Again, fun fact, this game was originally, I was playing Vampire Survivors like way back, when it was like much earlier on as thing. It didn't have any DLCs, it didn't have Arcanas, didn't exist, like a lot of things barely existed. I think the best weapon in the game was still like the two birds being merged, right? That was like by far still the best evolution at the time. And I think there was only like 2 or 3 maps. And I was sitting there playing that, watching Iron Mouse and thinking how much I would love to make a game like this with her in it. And then eventually holocure came out and gave me even more inspiration to that idea and showed me a lot of beautiful things that it did. I also played a lot of Soulstone Survivors. Again, these are where the inspirations for this game came in. So it's the irony that I always kind of stand by of... I wanted to do this game before holocure came out, but what I wanted to do was very different. How many people are working on this game? I have a friend that occasionally helps out with the UI, and then other than that, it's just me. I'd love to have more people, but I can't afford to, so... I literally have no money, so I can't, like, hire anyone, and I would feel bad asking people to do it for free. Because, what do you gain out of it? Like, you need to gain some value to the things you do, and I can't offer that. So I just kind of don't, is the short answer. So that's why, yeah, again, that's part of the reason why this game has taken so fucking long to make. Because it's the inevitability of me fighting my fucking self with working on it. Have you made any other games? I've made little bits and pieces here and there throughout my life. I've also, on stream, I made another game at one point over a small portion of time as a challenge. The game's still not released. That's because I have been so fucking distracted with this project. I haven't finished it and done the last little release of it. I did not hear the Oshi. Short answer, Iron Mouse. Long answer, go look back and watch me explain it. I ain't gonna explain all that again. That was a bit too cringe for me to be able to re-explain. It's Shy Lily. Dude, Shy Lily is a fucking great one though, right? I've always enjoyed Shy Lily's content. Shy Lily's fun. Looking at your playlist and stuff, this would be helpful. Feel free to go through it. Again, there's a lot of different discussions and things, some on topic, some off topic. But specifically the making the small game one, I think I put that as a separate playlist. I might be wrong. But that one would probably be a solid bet to just like get an idea of something. Because that was me not using anything but a singular pixel and making a joke game. In a sense. Will you also be putting Yanis in the game? Yeah, she is actually on the immediate list. Because technically her weapon is in the game. Ironically. Let's see, did I have it as a separate playlist? I'm pretty sure I did. Let's see, games from scratch. Yeah, that one. That is the, that's the playlist you'd want if you kind of want a good rough idea of like the process of making something kind of on the quicker side. And I do, again, that's the one I need to finish. All I need to add is the mobile game ads thing to it, and then it'll be done. And I'll see about releasing that, because haha funny. I mean, I've already been told by a few friends that they want to actually play it because it looks really fun and addictive. Which, kind of, again, that's the beauty of that sort of game, right? It's a game you can probably play for like 2-3 minutes quite happily, maybe 5 minutes, and then just play that every few days and you're happy. Alright. What does this look like? So we still need to do the tail. But we've got pretty much all of the rest of the motion going for it. Right? Freak it out. Hypersonic speed. Alright, let's get this tail sorted. I feel like... it's gonna be interesting to do the tail. Because when we put it onto this one... I feel like I... And then, can I, do this? Ah, it's not too bad. I need to move it over a little bit. On that, let's see. Maybe this frame, I think. What program am I using for the pixel art? I'm using Sprite, which is fairly cheap. I'm getting it via a friend. Because gotta love sharing on Steam and stuff. But it's a really good one. At the end of the day, though, I will openly say you could probably do this in Paint. It's not actually that obscene. But this just means that I can do layers and stuff really, really easily. And it is specifically designed for pixel art. So again, you've got to acknowledge it's probably going to be at this sort of speed. So that frame there, the tail needs to come over a bit. Or it could flip, honestly. Oops. God damn it. What did I do before? How have I done this differently? Yeah, it's... It does seem like it's made for a year. Like, there's some amazing stuff people have done with Sprite. I really, really love it. Yeah, I do think that it's like a little bit too much of a jump. I do think it needs to be flipped. Just trying to think. What did I do differently? Is it specifically selecting this? No. What have I done differently? I swear it was just that, wasn't it? I'm so confused now. How did I flip it before? Can I just do this? No. I'm actually very confused at how I managed to flip it before perfectly fine, and now I can't seem to. I mean, there is actually a simple answer. Why bother flipping it again when I can just copy a version that it's flipped? Joking, of course. Nah, it's about it, right? It seems about good. Yeah. Let's toss that in the game, shall we? So we need a new group. We're not going to have a run animation for her initially. That's always kind of the downside of just kind of slapping shit in like we do. But... sprite. Edit image, image, import strip image. Now, again, what I'm doing here is not essential for doing this stuff. I've done it different ways in the past, but this is just a really easy way that I can do because I'm doing it via a sprite and Game Maker. Which is I can do this, and then I can just do this, convert, yes, and done. And then we need the correct frame speed, which is like 3? Yeah, 3. So this is what it will look like. And then, again, just as a way of kind of showing off how awesome I am. Wow, tooting my own horn much. Just gonna copy that. Come down to the bottom here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna copy Monarch's one instead because it's less filled and it's much easier to work with. And then we need to push everything up. So humble, such a great... I mean... yeah, no, definitely. I'm the most humble there is. Did I just replace the wrong one? Yeah, I did. Fine. There we go. I don't know why I'm doing that. And then SP Shy Lily. And because we don't have a run animation, we still need to input 2 sprites, but we're just going to put in that one for now. Equipment indexes. I need to actually go look hers up because she does have them. Again, like this is the thing. She has got her weapon and item in the game and has had them in the game since pretty early on. Because again, the order of what I made these weapons in is the order I made them, right? There it is. Weapon 2, so the 3rd weapon I ever made. And items, I'm guessing she's also fairly early on. We're looking for, so 2 and 3 are her indexes. What's the music playing in the background? It is Heartbound's OST. Literally playing it like this. Highly recommend it. I bought it on Steam and I'm just playing it from my computer. I do not own the music, but it is the music done for the game, done by Pirate Software Thor, and he has openly stated that it is for free use. I want to have a better way of showing what it is, but we've had too many troubles in the past, and this is just easy enough to have it post like this. But it's a really, really good soundtrack, especially for like good BGM music for when you're just working on stuff. Highly, highly recommend it. Good times. So, Shy Lily. I don't actually have her stats worked out, technically. Can you tell me who's going to be in the game? In this game, that I'm making. Honestly, again, it's just the list that you kind of see that I've been working from here and what's already in. And then there's... I don't know who I'm going to stop at, is the simple answer. The fucking camera is not liking the new lighting, does it? But yeah, there's just no real answer to who will be and who won't be in it. It's just down to how long it takes to get everything done. Okay, height for... There we go. So this is where I get to say, like, I do actually have the heights in the game. It's great. Get a whole game coded, could release that, and then add actual graphics to use. Oh yeah, no, that is 100%, like... Again, the next game I'm planning on doing is a card game, which means I am going to need, like I said, I need a shitload of assets for it, but it's a game that I can get away with having, like, not really that many art assets initially to have the game developed and in its testing state. It can have all just really shitty art to get it working. I use Slay the Spire as an example for that. That game had fucking terrible art assets initially, and that is not a fault on those guys. They made an amazing game. So Shy Lily wants to have a decent HP pool. We're gonna give her 550. Walk speed, let's think on that. What walk speed do I want to give her? Giving an idea, like 2.7 here, Gura is really high and 1.7 is kind of low. So like 3 is the upper and 1.5 is lower. I think like 2 and a bit. So, yeah, no, Slay the Spire is a great one. Crit chance can be 3, and I'll leave those alone for the moment. Now, what the fuck was her... Did I actually have those named yet? I'm gonna have that on the other screen for a moment so I can look at that. 2.1 sounds reasonable. Yeah, like, it should be nice and, like, adequate. It's gonna be kind of like a nice middle ground. Definitely on the slower side, which is fine, especially knowing that I kind of want to give her an ability that's about the units you move, and she is also, like, supposed to be quite tanky. But, well, kind of tanky by design, is the intention. So, her ultimate is not got a name at the moment. That's kind of frustrating. Remember, she is Orca. Yeah, that is a good point. She's the weird cat Orca thing. I don't think anyone truly knows what she is. She's an yeah, the Orcat, I think, isn't it, right? Actually, what was her specific thing? I'm sure it's a thing around here. Name it Blowhole? No, we can't, because that's what the weapon's called. That's the best part. It's already done that joke. What is it? It's yeah, gushing blowhole is her weapon. And then her item is light from the depths, because it's based on her lore video. Yeah, I use lore in some of these characters. Fucking take that as you will. And before you ask, one of her abilities is called Womp Womp, so I can't use Womp either. This is the difficulty with naming shit, man. I think literally her ability is the only thing that's fucking named outside of her weapon and item. Ah! I'll get to that later. Just call it EX. And for this, delete that and grab the description literally from the notes. That will get replaced someday. And I'm not going to bother making the actual thing at the moment. Again, we're going to probably show really quickly how fucking easy it is to set this shit up. This one's going to be a fun one to code because this is something that like I know exactly how to do it and it should take like a little while to do. And it's another surface thing. Yeah. To those that know Shy Lily, you'll know exactly what the fuck this is gonna be. It's one of those jokes that, like, I'm pretty sure if Shy Lily ever saw this game, she'll hate me for it, but at least all of her community will enjoy it. Yeah, no, that's the point, is it's going to be that fucking marker. It's a Google Maps thing. I like, we could call it like forehead, maps. There we go, forehead maps. Can't call it Google because I don't want to fight Google for legal things. Passive, we don't have a name for, and ability is Womp Womp. Be less funny? Oh, you know. I try. That's the problem, is it's like, it's not even it's me being funny, it's just more me making fun of them, and it makes me funny by kind of like association. So you want to see how hard it is to introduce a new character to the game? Like really see how hard it is to add a new character? Like, ground up and all that, when we have art assets? I'm gonna show you just with launching the game now, how hard that was to introduce. Nah, you're a funny man. Nah, how dare you? I'm old and bitter and grumpy. Add a new character? Yeah, no, I'll add a new character. So you see all that stuff we just wrote just then? If we come over here, you'll see for some reason with case on. It's kind of weird. Hi, Shy Lily. You're in the game. And if we do a run with her, we will have her weapon. Also, how tiny is she? So the whirlpool will start turning up, and there. And as I take damage, I'm also going to have more increased damage, and you can see here, Womp Womp's in there, the passive's there, Gushing Blowhole's there. Now, mind you, some of these aren't actually doing anything at the moment because the functionality is not fully implemented, but that's kind of the point of why I say half a day is probably accurate to adding a new character, disregarding assets. Because to just put the character in and actually have the thing going, it's that fast. God, she's so tiny. She's about the same fucking size as Iron Mouse. What the fuck? It's actually kind of adorable. I didn't realize she was that small. Wait, am I like the only one that's kind of like having a thing about this? How like she's actually fucking tiny? Like, technically, Aura's taller than her. She's, like, taller than fucking Gura by a fucking little bit. Right, I mean, adding functions to every interaction on screen is why most people get scared of. Yeah, it does look a lot scary. I mean, again, that's the whole thing of I could start showing some of these, right? Like, hey, you want to see how a buff works? So this is a buff. Hey, you want to see how, I don't know, I draw the circle bars that you saw, like the health bars? Yeah, there it is. I do not remember her being this small. Yeah, I'm trying to fucking deal with that, but like, according to her wiki, she is 147, which is only 410. Which, to give an idea, I believe Gura if we go look at her info. It's only like 6 centimeters smaller. Sheer measure? Yeah, she really is, isn't she? I never realized how small she is. Just, I guess it's the hat, right? Adds like so much to it, as well as she got the big booba, so you kind of forget like how bulked out her character is. But it's just, that's so weird. I don't see this as a tiny character. Why are these women so small? Because reasons, I don't know. To be fair, again, fun fact with this stuff, if we go through the player characters, so specifically look at the first number in the character stats here, or I think it's separate for some. Again, Monarch's the only one that's non-official because she doesn't have an official height, but she is on the smaller side from what I've been told. So Gura, yeah, 1.41. So take that in times it by 100 is the short answer, right? It is 141. Booby is 2.2 meters, 2 meters 13. It's fucking tall. I think that's including his horns, so take that as you will. 1.7 for Aura. Kason is 1.89. 189 centimeters tall. Fucking Mary is only 1.6, which is kind of funny. Juniper is 172. So she actually a big boss woman, even though she's like slowly getting domesticated. But we're not gonna get into that meme. Iron Mouse, tiny as shit. And Vox is 178. So the tallest character is a dude, which is not too surprising, right? I'm not surprised that men tend to be on the taller side for VTubers because it's kind of the ideal cell thing. We all associate Mousy with small because she hangs out with Connor. Gura is Gura, but Lily just doesn't seem... Yeah, like, I will 100% agree. I expected Lily to be like 1.6. Like, 160 or something like that. He's gonna tell me Henya is bigger than like, there's no fucking way, right? Now I want to look that up. Henya, the genius. She's gotta be shorter than... How short is Henya? Oh god, how short is Henya? I'm now scared that Shy Lily is shorter than Henya. Why is this a fair? There's no way. She's 1 centimeter shorter than Gura. So she is shorter than Shy Lily by 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters? She's 3 inches shorter. No, you can't. can't tell me Henya's only 3 inches shorter than fucking Shy Lily. I can't believe this. This is physically not okay. Come on, Shy Lily, go hit the gym. If anyone knows that reference, good on you. Holy shit. I'm having a fucking, like, I don't know how to recover from this. Like, I don't know if I should put Shy Lily as that small in game. I don't feel, it doesn't feel right. How the fuck is she only 147? How is she only 147? How is this 147? Nah, I can't. Like, this outfit alone, this outfit, it's just like, that ain't a short woman, is it? You learn things you never meant to. You have no idea how true that is. Oh my god. No, I want to stress this. If you do ever get to game dev, know that the biggest fucking mistake of game dev is when you go play other games and you notice things from that point onwards that you'll never be able to recover from. You can't play games for fun the same way anymore. Being a game dev ruins being a gamer. You need to leave it like that. It's people, yeah, no, like 100%, I have to leave it that way because then people are gonna go, there's no fucking way she's that short. She is. Dude, what the fuck? I'm not gonna be able to, like, this is genuinely, like, mind-boggling to me. Like, I almost want to send her a message going like, are you sure you're this short? No way! How is she only 147? My brain. My brain. Ah! I guess it also doesn't help, and this is kind of what I was talking about when I was doing the model yesterday, was like, the majority of what I know Shy Lily for is basically like this section of her body, right? It is this image here. It's pretty much like you'll see maybe a little of her chest, but you mainly see her face, her hair, and then like the tail in the background. Like that's what you're used to with Shy Lily. That's the thing that when I think of Shy Lily, that's the imagery that comes to mind. I cannot get into details of making games. This is not a... Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? It genuinely, I cannot stress it to the nth degree. Like, I cannot stress enough how much being a game dev changes your perspective on how games work. And that's so wild. Technically, we're used to that with most of you. Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, I will agree, yes, to an extent, but there's certain VTubers that, like, there is more than just that section that I think of. Like, there's some that I'll see hands or slightly more of their body, maybe waist up, things like that. I mean, Fillion, right, is an example of, I don't think anyone can think of Fillion outside of, like, her entire body is the big thing. And that's because she walked around her room. She's in a 3D space. But, like, Matara Khan, or Mata, I definitely think of as a lot more of her model at once. Iron Mouse, kind of same argument. I see a lot of her model as once. Zen, Mel, filling. Yeah, exactly. Like, the 3D moving around, that stuff, like, definitely you think of their entire body at once. I don't know how I'm going to do Zen, by the way, still. Like, I know what I want to do for her EX, I think. which if anyone knows, it's going to probably be Smolder's ult from League of Legends, kind of that idea. Or Diablo from Heroes of the Storm. That sort of, maybe. We'll see. I don't know quite what I want her weapon to be as well. But she's so far on the design list that I'm not really I'm not taking suggestions. I'm just kind of acknowledging that I haven't really thought heavily on her yet. There's so many models. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I went into this yesterday. This is why I want to do skins, but Mouse seriously is one of the reasons why I don't want to do skins. Because of how often she fucking model swaps, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I understand her reasoning as well, but like, fuck me. I mean, she just model swapped recently, which her new model is fucking I love that so much. Fucking Twin Tails did an amazing job with that rigging. I love it. I guess Zen's Cyberpunk version would be best. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I actually see that more as a skin. Like, ironically enough, I see Zen's Cyberpunk thing more as a skin that I would love to do. Whereas, like, her general kind of the dragon vibe, I would prefer to do as her base model. Because I feel like I can do more of a primal dragon design with her better than I could do, like, a Cyberpunk dragon. And I think that would be more fitting with her. But I could definitely do some references to it. Yeah, Mouse is the reason I got cold sweats the moment you said skins. Yeah, I know. It's, oh god, the website. If you haven't seen it, there is a website for Iron Mouse's skins. Someone's made a catalog of all of them. It's so much more than people think it is. It's so much more. And so she celebrated her 7-year anniversary yesterday, I think, of VTubing, which is fucking awesome. I've not been watching her for that long, but I have been watching her since, like, 2020 at the very least. So, okay. There is, when I think on these two, so Shy Lily, her EX is going to be honestly rather simple. I can yoink assets from some places to make this easier as well. The lock in place is going to be interesting because I'm going to have to make a system for that, and that basically just pauses input, which shouldn't be too hard to do nowadays. Because now that we've moved movement back here, we should be able to handle it a bit better. Yeah, it should be this. How do I want to handle it? Oh, that's actually a good point. I should probably have an else. Yeah, just for some there we go. Monarch does not have a lock in place mechanic. I thought you would make her an ice type. So Monarch is we actually, again, her kit's pretty well defined in my my notes here. So she's actually a lot about crit and cooldown is the design, which is to kind of work with the Valkyries of time concept, the timelines, which is her lore. However, in saying that, at the same time, her passive and ability are just memes, right, by name. Weaponized Scuff and She-Ego, which if you know about the whole She-Ego thing, oh my god, I still can't get over that situation. It was fucking jarring. I can't believe that was so long ago now, too. I feel like that was still only a week ago. But yeah, that's why it's like Butterfly Blade, because it's very much Butterfly effect. I mean, we've got this as well. She's also, yeah, kind of ice themed in certain aspects with the butterfly effect, because I'm not even kidding. 100% the damage side of this, and originally the original design of this, was literally Jinglue's ult from Honkai Star Rail. But I decided to have it as a swapping ult because I thought that would actually be quite fitting. That's why, again, a butterfly effect. It's one leads to the other sort of thing. But yeah, that's, again, this is literally how her kit's kind of going to function. It's like, yeah, gain cooldown rate, gain attack and area based on cooldown reduction, which it's not cooldown reduction, it's cooldown rate. Again, when going through and fixing that. Sort of know some of Emily. Sheepy introduced me to her. Her sheet ego. Yeah, that was... I know her mostly for being terrible with tech stuff on stream. Yeah, I mean, that's why Weaponized Scuff's there, right? I mean, it's, in a sense, that's probably one of her most famous things, is the fact that she used to do a lot of music, which she still does from time to time. And I will openly admit, like, I listened to Amelie music back when, because it was one of the easiest ways to listen to anime music while kind of having it a bit more normalized. And it was, she did a really fucking great job with the translating and translating the kind of the feeling of what the song was supposed to be. I really enjoyed her music. But yeah, nowadays she's... That's why, like, everyone laughs so much, because, like, she debuted as a VTuber, and, like, very quickly everyone learned how... everyone thought of her as this very well put together person, kind of on the outside. Then you see her as Monarch, and you're like, holy shit, she is a fucking mess. She is a hot girl failure mess, and it's great. She's fun. She's definitely a phenomenal person. But goddamn, I feel bad for Sayu so much. But yeah, it's god damn it. I'm now just reminded of so many like stupid highlights that I've seen with those two, where it's just actual tragedies. But yeah, so Monarch is supposed to be very much like crit and cooldown orientated. What about Jaden's VTuber as a character? Just her whole mechanic being Murphy's Law. Just everything can go wrong does. Yeah. And so that's the difficult one, because again, that's actually one of the reasons why I'm going to struggle later on, more than I am now. If I get to, like, say 50 characters, as an example, I'm going to immediately start hitting the problem of how do I make them unique? I'm already struggling with that a couple of times. Mume had that issue before, she's been fixed up now. But Melody is one that I still want to do a few passes over, because, like, I'll be honest, like, in short, the biggest example of this is, okay, so Monarch's ability is you get crit damage and you heal for crits, and then her assist is you permanently gain cooldown reduction, right? Whereas, so that's what you would get if you had her as your assist. Whereas with Melody, you get way more crit damage later on, but you lose max health, and then her assist is just a slight damage thing. Which would you pick? And that's the difficulty, because, like, what is the difference between these two? Really? Other than, okay, slightly more crit with a downside, slightly less crit with an upside, and then, like, a scaling assist versus a attack assist. I ironically found her because of Sayu, because I watched it. Yeah. I watched Sayu a little bit back when, but I like Mel a lot, so yeah, like, I mean, that's the other thing, right, is the benefit you have is you could just choose the characters because you like the characters, and that's something I do want to try and enable as well. I want every character to kind of sit on a nice plateau for the most part. Some can be above that plateau, that's fine. But for the most part, I want them to sit on a plateau so everyone's playable, everyone's okay. And it means that if you have a character you specifically really like, you'll learn how to make them good. Melody is going to be interesting. I think she's going to be on the weaker side initially. That's why I want to give her a few passes to bring her power up a little bit. That's why, like, again, the reason why the more crit damage, lose max health is good is because she has the passive of, like, dodge. But I do want to give her more to this passive. I do think that this passive is lacking. I think there needs to be something else. Like, maybe give her the kind of, like, headphones effect from holocure, right? Where on dodge you get the knockback. That could be an option. But, like, yeah, yoga pants. Which is a hint at one of the modifiers that we have in here as well. Where is it? Yeah, Mel Yoga, where you lose base speed but get pickup range and area. And this, I think it's reduce your speed, gain damage, and pickup range. Because of course her yoga needs to be in there somehow, right? Project Melody's yoga is very important as her second job. First job? What would you call as a first job? That's a difficult one, actually. That's what I'm assuming with this, to make everyone's favorites viable, bring their memes alive. And yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. And this is where I also want to point at the, like, if you don't see a character, or if you think I'm missing a meme, or if you, all these sorts of things, I'm all good for having people suggest stuff. I don't want to fail at bringing a character to life. I think so far, Fuawa and Mokoko are the ones that I'm, like, so hesitant on because I don't really know what I want to do with them fully. Like, I want them to be swap-based characters. First job con artist, true. Like, I want them to be a swap character, but I'm still, like, I feel like I'm missing a charm with these two. Like, I feel like I'm missing the beauty of these two people, is because they're very fucking, like, chaotic and gorgeous in their own ways. And I've tried to, like, take into consideration the differences in their personality and designs to create, like, what we've got here. I mean, there's a reason why Fuawa's got the damage reduction bonus, because, yeah. But again, it's like it's also based on, like, how they describe each other as well. It's difficult. So far, you did your research and truly nailed them. I mean, like, that's why, again, her weapon's not been done yet, and I do want to do more with her ability, maybe, or more on her passive. I don't know quite yet what I want. But, again, that's where, like, I hope, really, at the end of the day, that I do accomplish what people kind of see with that. I mean, Mume, again, like, I'm happy with Mume now. Now that we've got the Bloodlust in there, I think that's a really awesome change that we've added. Because, to explain, before, Mume didn't have this at all. Instead, her ability was actually the two separate things. So it was this effect was one of the abilities, and this effect was the other ability, back when it was just two abilities and not a passive and an ability. Then we introduced passives primarily because of this idea. Because I was like, well, I can't give this to everyone, but I like the idea of giving a reason to select a character more than just their assist. Also, the camera, again, just doesn't like the lighting at the moment, so it's putting me in and out of focus a lot. But, like, I think this is really accurate, because it's like, pick up deal damage while in flight, and when you pick up a bunch of things, gain a burst of, basically, activity. Which, if you know Mume when she's in her hyperactive state, you'll kind of understand that. That's how you know that Toby Fox is a hack. He didn't have to bring memes into this game. He just wanted to make new ones. Yes, fair. Yeah. I kind of, that's the other thing as well, right? Is like, I do have some memes that are technically not VTuber related in here. I think one of the immediate ones I can think of is the weapon Truck-kun, which is literally just, it's a joke of the isekai truck, right? We have Yarn Ball as well, which is arguably not a VTuber meme. We have Sledge Over It, which is a general streamer kind of meme. Because it's, what is actually the original name of the game? Getting Over It or something like that? And then like beyond that, Lovey Lovey Beam is also kind of like a generalized meme with anime. Hand Reveal is actually a bit more of a VTuber meme. I'll accept that. Hanabi, kind of just more of an anime in general, Japan meme, I guess. And then outside of that, I think all the rest are weapons for characters, yeah. I mean, as we speak, there is an anime earring called VTuber. Oh, yeah, no. Dude, there is VTuber Legend, which is the best anime in the world. I stand by this. Actually has me in stitches every time. It's like a great series. But yeah, no, at the end of the day, there's the difficulty of really living up to the characters. And that's something that I think the best example I have in-game at the moment of not living up to the character is Mary. Because I think he's too weak at the moment. I need to buff him and I need to clean up his kit. Because he is one of the most complex systems that we have in the game. And because I went so wide with his character, he just doesn't feel worth it. And that's something that I don't think is acceptable. I think he needs to be way more well-balanced, but I think that it's difficult when you have a jack of all trades, master of none kind of character. Pretending to be an anime, but we all... Oh yeah, no, like, I mean, there's something we've learned a lot now, is that, like, pretty much most VTubers are like 30 years old, and it's fucking great. Because, yeah, no, it just it goes to show. Doesn't fucking matter. And that's kind of, again, the beauty of VTubing. Means that you can be 30 or so years old. I mean, Marnie is one of the best examples of how successful you can be by being, 30s onwards as a VTuber. Like, it's almost what sells her now for most people. In fact, also for me. Is like, it's just this more mature sort of thing. Where it's great. I still can't get over how much I've broken laughing the amount of times where I can't remember which one of her gen mates it is, but one of her gen mates is her mother is as old as Marnie. Which just really must throw you through a fucking loop when your best friend is your mother's age. Or one of your friends is your mother's age. Having a hard mode sort of character would be kind of fun, but yeah, making it... I mean, like, yeah, that's the thing, right, is, again, League of Legends Swarm is what I'm using as an example point a lot at the moment because it's very new and it's very fresh in my mind. And that, every character is playable. I think the worst character in my mind is, like, Aurora, and then maybe Alawi. But I can still play with those two. However, if you gave me, like, Xayah to play, holy shit, I can fucking break the game. Aurora is probably the one that I can't consistently win the game with. That's why I say, like, I don't think maybe that's me. I just don't think she's that good. Yasuo feels a little bit weaker since they shifted his power a little bit. But he's still really, really strong. He does have his autopilot build, which is even better now, technically, once you get it going. It just takes longer to get it going. And that's the point, right? So that's why I kind of stress, Iron Mouse is a good example of, I made a flaw. Iron Mouse is slow and capable in this mode. Like, it's not quite accurate. Like, she is still very thing, but she is consistent. That is the design of her. Her kit she is designed to be consistent, hard to kill, but strong. And that's great. That's exactly what I wanted out of her. Why is that good? Well, that's because this mode, the game is designed around speed. The game is a boss rush mode. It is you kill a certain amount of enemies, a boss spawns, you kill the boss, you repeat this process a certain amount of times, and you win the round. Right? There's no timer. The timer is actually more of a high score. It's like your score, right? It's the faster you do it, the better you are. Iron Mouse is bad for that, but she'll probably get you the victory. And that's kind of where that strength comes in. Enemy get building towards nearly breaking the game. Well, yeah, it's kind of the beauty of Vampire Survivors, right? Is that it's like, haha, Lamau, I've now hit my build, have fun. I can near AFK. Unless I'm Riven and you have to keep moving because you're a fucking lunatic. Or Zaya still kind of needs to keep moving because she needs to reposition for her feathers. I digress. The point, though, is that, yeah, no, fucking, every character should have a purpose to play. Warframe is also where I'll use an example of every frame in that is viable in its own field. There are characters that are more viable than others, but like if I wanted to do a spy mission, Avara, Loki, or Limbo are great examples. If I want a defense mission, I want Frost, Limbo, or blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, if I want to do most missions, I could just take a frame that kills things. Oh no! Anyway, like I've done spy missions as Anaros, which, yeah. And Anaros is like the definition of me big health tank. And that's fine. Again, you as the player have the control to influence your game. That's why the multiplayer aspect of this is going to be interesting, because it'll be cool to see how people might consider synergies. Because now there's a consideration of what to do with some of these things. I mean, you're right. I mean, experience does the work, you know much more about game dev than me. Yeah, I mean, like, that's... I wouldn't say that justifies, like, oh, what I'm saying is 100% correct. Again, you are completely fair to formulate your own opinions, which is good. You should, and is important. I just like debating things. I think in the end it makes sense to have characters have roles. Yeah. I mean, again, going to Swarm, one of the beautiful examples of that is Leona. Leona is an amazing character that is really good at doing everything but the final boss. Because she just doesn't fucking die. And she can do the final boss, she just, like, I mean, I don't want to run her on Belveth as the big one. Because Belveth is a fight that just is rough to do when you're trying to cook your opponent. Slowly. That's kind of the idea with that, where it's just like, so take that idea. Leona is kind of Iron Mouse in this, where it's like, it's nice, it's consistent, but like, if you really want to do things fast and efficient, it's probably not the correct answer, but I'm sure someone can find a build that will do that. However, there are other characters that will do things faster, better. I mean, at the moment, I think still to this day, the two best characters are Aura and Kason. And that's because they're like, Kason, I swear to God, she's going to get stronger and stronger as we finish the changes to stats. In fact, I'm pretty sure once enemies are actually doing the correct amount of damage, which they're not at the moment, they're still doing damage based on the player having like a 10th of the health that they currently have. But like, she is designed about being in the middle of the enemies and taking damage, which is something that's very rare in these kind of builds, in these games. That's why I've had her health high, but I'm probably going to have to lower it potentially because of just how capable she is. Because I'm going to sit in the enemies and I'm going to start dealing more damage eventually. Starting to have a brain mountain. I realize Risk of Rain is just the enemy swarm type game with extra steps. Yeah. I thought that was obvious. But yeah, now I'm pretty much immortal now, the moment I've just done what I've done. Ooh, speaking of the devil would be really good on you, actually. Now that, oh my god, that's probably too good. Holy shit. And it's only gonna get better. Oh god, she's really strong now. Fuck. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Oh, that's gonna be a really big problem. I need to pull the stats down on that weapon. Holy shit, on that item. Nah, Speak of the Devil is way too good. So, again, the way this scales is way too fucking absurd, and I really need to fucking hit it hard with a hammer. So you gain area based on your health, armor, and health regen. So because I have a high base health, I have quite a lot of area, but also Caisson, with, I think it's in here, I can look at it, yeah. Gangret, when taking damage, gain stacking armor and damage boost. So you'll get like a shitload of armor late game, and damage boost. Then you have this, which will give you area boost. Then you have this, which gives you damage reduction percentage to damage over time. And then you have this in case you need to heal. And then, like, there's also, if you hit Demon Blood and, like... I mean, if you hit Demon Blood, you're basically set, right? And especially with how, like, aggressive the scaling is. Maybe you can make it specific type of attack and make some enemies strong against it. That's a difficult one, because while I agree with you in a sense, there is a danger to adding that kind of complexity. The beauty this game kind of, in a sense, has, it's the same as Vampire Survivors. There isn't a lot of memory game. I don't feel like I need to be looking at a wiki constantly, which is what Warframe does, for example. Warframe is a wiki game, and it's bad. You should not have a wiki game. But at the, yeah, again, like, Caisson's supposed to be a hyper carry melee fighter. Aura is supposed to be a hyper carry late game fighter. Aura requires her weapon to be maxed out, I believe, to actually really feel the strength of herself. But she has great ways of getting there. Also, look at the speed difference, right? Like, this is an example of, like, how fast some of these characters are. I think Aura's on the faster side as well. Because she's, like, on the squishier side, but it's also because she can get shield. Unlike other characters. She inherently can get it. But, like, this early, you, ironically enough, are probably, have they got fucking armor? I think they've got armor. Yeah, they've got armor. That's going to be the rough part. To be fair, I'm probably not going to easily die because, again, the damage isn't there. But yeah, Helpful Rambit. Let's go, Helpful Rambit. He is somewhere in the crowd. We want Aura Slash, because Aura Slash is the big one to get upgraded on you. But then again, just 3 types of element damage, color-coded enemies, strong against. Definitely a point to make. Like, again, I'm not saying that's a bad idea, as I don't know if I can do that right now. I think that's one of those, like, long-term probably would add. Maybe. I can play around with it a little bit at a later stage, but it is the, we do start getting to that feature creep scenario with that sort of stuff. may not seem very obviously feature creep, but it can be kind of feature creep in the sense that, do you need this? Does the player benefit from having this? You know, I'm just gonna force my fucking weapon to upgrade so I can show how this weapon's supposed to level. It's level 6, I believe I need to get it to. Alright, now it should be, yep, the twin slash with the AoE. The pathing's not working correctly. Okay, I need to fix that. That's not spawning the way it should be. Okay. Gotta fix that at some point. Point is, that's the idea of the weapon. It's the example I use is Kale from League of Legends, if anyone's ever kind of experienced a Kale late game. That's what Aura is supposed to be. In fact, she was the best character in, I think, the current update of the game, because she inherently gets that wave attack, and it just... AoE Pierce in a line is way too good to give you early on. It was a mistake on my end to give it to the player immediately. The player should not ever get that kind of power. Oh, you know what it would be? It's, yeah, I think I know what's the problem there. I can probably fix it relatively easy. We'll see. It's probably going to be something I have to fix over the week. But I'm seeing my hair, like, drooping down like this. And I don't know if that looks that creepy like that. Should probably just tie up my hair again. Because what? Long ass hair. It's just bunching up at the back there. It's great. I gotta do Shaylili's run animation. It's not pleasant to do the run animations. The run animations take so long to do. Again, so if I was to break down my timelines of how long stuff takes to do, the idle sprite takes like a day, day and a half. And the running animation takes like 2 days. Sometimes 3. Depends on my motivation. So... fighting long hair too. I like having long hair. It's been something I've appreciated a fair bit. Again, having long hair again, it's been just quite nice. But I will not deny in the slightest, like, yeah, there is the suffering that is having long hair and positioning it right, especially with headphones. Because I don't like, again, I said this earlier, I don't like having it in this kind of space because it just gets irritating. That's why I tend to tie it up. How many frames does the run animation take? 6. But the difference between it and the idle is that there is so much more going on. So the biggest thing to point at with the idle is that technically I'm only doing 3 frames. This one we did a little bit of a difference between this, but like look at it's just the tail, right? This frame is basically the same as the previous one, but slightly off to the side. This one's that. Whereas if we look at, let's pull up an example from a previously done character. If we pull up the running for Aura, this is a good example of one of the better ones, right? Let's look through these frames and see how much things actually change. The hair changes quite a bit, the legs change a lot in positioning, and then the coat's also changing, and so are the arms. So a lot is actually getting changed and shifted in the body with the run animation comparison to the idle animation. So regardless of if I have my like a good template or not, like this, which again, these are the templates I made at one point. These are the recent ones. This, like, from here you can see already how much actually just gets moved. So think about it with Shy Lily. That's going to be here, which is really complex for her. She's a lot more complex than most because her hair is very long and very out to the sides. You've got the tail. You've got the dress is going to have some motion to it. And yeah, like, ironically enough, I will also stress, Shy Lily has probably been one of the faster ones in recent times to do because of how simple her outfit is in theory. Only needs at least 3 positions to look good. Well, I mean, to be fair, the same with Aura. She technically only has 3 positions of her jacket swaying. Fun fact. If I pull up here, I believe if we zoom in, you'll see. So we have down, mid, up, down, mid, up, down, mid, up. There's only 3 spots that it's in, technically, but it does take quite a bit to get the, like, quite the finite for it. But yeah, like with the dress, you're going to have a little bit of fluidity and movement to that to kind of work with the fact that, like, what's going in this? Well, this is going to be the dress. The dress has to be able to move effectively for each of these frames. So it's got to have a way of coming down over this, still over that, and then needs to recede back and come up this way. And then it needs to go back up. And it needs to all look nice. Again, it's one of those, it's a surprisingly lot that needs to actually go into it. And it's why I hate this. I hate it so much. I really do. I cannot stress at the end of days, I would give a lot to get an artist, but I just can't afford one. And that's something that makes me sad. But it's the blessing and curse of doing indie dev. You get all of the freedom, all the control, but you also have all of the responsibility and not really much assistance. I'm very thankful to my mate that does pop in from time to time to help me with my UI stuff. He's pretty much heavily coded what I have for UI code. But yeah, everything else I've done. I mean, it's partly because the UI before he got involved was absolutely foul. And that's because I had not worked with game programming like this for too long to really consider. I'd done programming before, but I'd not that sort of stuff, and it was very out of it. Hadn't done programming for a few years because I'd been doing humanities studies. But I think like Iron Mouse even still kind of has that thing with the dress as well. I mean, Monarch's the weirdest one because technically speaking, she her running is just her walking, but slightly different. So this is her running animation, which it's really hard to see. But if I take away the clothes, you can actually see that the legs are swapping places. I could add in more frames to like make it more clear, but it actually works out quite nicely in game because she just shuffles enough for it. That's why she's supposed to be kind of slow, because she's not supposed to be running. Every other character is running. Well, technically Juniper isn't when she's flying around. I still think that this is probably my peak thing that I've ever done. I think this just looks so cute. Like, fun thing, her legs are actually moving as well. Like, it's just the right amount of movement, I feel. I could do a little bit with her here, but I like this. This is one of my favorites. Simplicity. The irony that this one I don't like as much, even though it's literally the same thing as well. It's funny. Like, this is literally just the same stuff like that. It's just really fucking cluttered because this model got really weird. Like, that's her actually wielding a gun. I don't know how clear that is. Like, this is her arm here. This is the gun here. Plan on doing a cheeky and have the Google pin under the handgun she runs? No, but again, her assist is literally that, right? Like, I want to be kind. I don't want to be too much like you look at the character and you're suffering because you're like, oh, fuck you, asshole. It sounds weird. Each design, I have the intention of hoping that the original VTuber is happy with it and has no complaints. That's why I've always loved the fact that a few of them have actually liked and retweeted some of them, and that has been so good. But visible when you look into it. Potentially. I mean, I could. There's the beauty as well of technically I could just go like to head and then just do this fucking like this, and you'll probably never see this, right? Could be a funny little reference that only people that are in the know would know, because when the model's put together, it's all put together. Like, you can't deconstruct this unless you have these files, which I'm only sharing these files with the original VTubers. That's my intention. I think can I? No, I can't. Fuck. Forget I just about said anything. There's definitely nothing I could say. Not remembering contracts or anything. I mean, like, that's the big hope, is that when the Steam release comes around, it's going to be a lot of people will hopefully be able to play it and enjoy it. That's my big intention with it. That's why, like, quality is one of the big things I've been working so heavily on at the moment, and bringing features in that I think are what I actually envision with the game. That's why multiplayer is a big thing. That's why the AI rebalancer manager is still getting worked on. I need to finish that, but that gets finished when the characters get finished getting redone to the new scheme. Which is this week's project, really, right? I'm being naughty and working on art assets because I kind of need a fucking break from doing the same bit of code over and over again. Look, I love doing programming. I would prefer to do programming than art, but there's also a level of... There's some programming that I just get bored of eventually, which is repetitive, like replacing. Which is why I don't like doing reworks as often. And I try and make my reworks now really, really malleable, so I don't have to go through and do a lot more than I had done previously. The problem is, with characters at the moment, if we go back to this, you'll see there's a huge discrepancy between, say, if we go back to the top. So you've got Vox kind of like this, all that. You've got Iron Mouse kind of like this. It's a little bit different. And then you get Juniper, which is this. This looks completely different code to how this is structured. Why? Because this is using a much older scheme. The problem is this part here is kind of what we've got, but this here is the problem. Because this here is equivalent to, well, yeah, this. Because I've made better systems around it. Talk some and rekindle the love. I mean, it's also today is, and I talked about this yesterday, today is a property inspection. So I kind of need today to be a slow day because I want to get a little bit of work done, satisfy my urge for that, and then after stream, when I have a lockout point, because I know when I'm stopping stream. When I stop, I need to go do a bunch of cleaning to finish up the cleaning that I need to do. And then after, I think it's 2 o'clock when they come around, do their shit, and leave, then I'm going to take, like, the rest of the day off. Oh, not looking forward to coming up, though. I'm hoping we can get this, like, next update done soonish, like, week or two is my hope, but I don't want to commit to times at this point too heavily. I just know that there's some people that want to get their hands on it. And it's also been far too long since I've actually released an update, because I think the last update... When was the last update released? I think it was New Year's, right? I think I can come here and see my creator dashboard. VTuber Unite. It was... No, it wasn't December, was it? December 8th? Was seriously the last update? 241 days ago. Yikes. Don't tell me that. Oh, now I feel like shit. Wait, now I kind of want to launch this. What is the pre-alpha look like? The second pre-alpha. I'm now curious to see how fucking bad this was. Okay. I don't know why these are in here, but hey. Again, so this is what the game looked like 200 and something days ago. Let's see. So this was one of the broken characters. I can't remember, were bosses even enabled in this? I think they were. God, this is... Oh my god, the hitbox. Oh, because it's the old hitbox where it's actually the model size and not a unique one that I made. I wondered, is the rabbits in at this point? I don't think Asaki-san existed at this stage, right? No. It's still just Slimies. Also, one little thing that I'm also remembering that I didn't realize it was that reason I made it was the damage thing. So the weapon is hitting more than once, if you actually look. if it's given the ability to. I'm too fucking scared of getting close. But yeah, like, sometimes you'll see an enemy getting hitting twice while the weapon is attacking. That was something we changed, like, I guess a few months back, right? I think this was back when Iron Mouse was one of the better characters, still. But she still just didn't do damage. But yeah, this was before the lobby, because the lobby got introduced at New Year's. Around that time, Christmas, New Year's time. We need that update. Yeah, like, if that's what is still, like, available to you guys, I need to fucking step my shit up, because holy shit. That is, very outdated. The amount of the game that has changed since that point, holy shit. That's kind of incredible to me, though. Okay, that was actually a really nice moment. I'm seeing, like, how much has changed, but also how much hasn't. The biggest thing that hasn't fucking changed is the fact that, goddamn, it's been almost a full fucking year. How has it been 200 days since I last did this? December 8th, fucking hell. I think when was the first release? First release was the end of September. The second release was December 8th. And then I haven't fucking posted since. The good part about it is that once you update it, it'll literally be a whole new game. True. But goddamn, yeah, like, here is something that it's just, this hits me so hard. This is what the game looked like for a very good portion of time. This was how items were done. This, and weapons. They were displayed like this. Look at how old this was. Look at how. And then, yeah, then we started actually getting icons in. We started getting other stuff in. We had the character selector added, which again, I had a really horrendous system for this and got changed to this. This was also about the time I did actually add Gura in her weapon, which was pretty cool. Fucking, I'll be posting updates here when they're ready. Fucking, they've been ready for a while, technically. I could have done more updates, as on me. I need to get better at that. But yeah, no, that's pretty bad. It's really, really bad. I remember promising an update like half a year ago now too. God damn. Well, that was a good solid kick in the fucking ass that I needed. Really need to work on that next update, huh? The benefit is that all of the, like, features that I want to actually add in, I will be, like, leaving till the next update, and they shouldn't shift the game in an excessively bad way, which is good. Sorry, I got distracted by reading something that, oh my god. Someone is got, like, the stupidest complaint about the fucking Stop Killing Games campaign. I hate that. Oh my god, that's actually angering. My Gen Z brain is Gen Z talking. We add some funny Gen Alpha language power-ups, like, Probably. I hate that I probably will. I mean, Bibu will probably be where I add like at least one, like Gen Alpha meme, right? I gotta add like at least something there. Because she's like, of all the VTubers I've seen in recent times, she's like the only one that I don't think's parodying that shit. I think she actually enjoys that shit. And I don't think of other things when I think of her, if that makes sense. Like there's some that I know that think about that stuff, parody that stuff, all that. But when I think of it like actually, Bibu's what comes to mind. For better or worse. For better or worse. Swear to God, that girl. Hey, yo, there's a Five Nights at Freddy's fucking thing coming to Dead by Daylight? Hell yeah. Can personally love making people cringe. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in that category of I will say certain things just because an older person saying them is really cringy, but it's really funny to me. I mean, I still dab from time to time. When I'm with my friends, if I'm taking photos or stuff like that, like I'm dabbing. One of my last like work big like photo things with a work thing I did is just me in the front of like all of these people. They're holding stuff and like really happy, and I'm just in a suit fucking like hell yeah. I don't know if I can find it, and I don't think I can show it because of privacy reasons. But yeah, it's just really funny because like all of them were just like, I made sure the person taking the photo counted it down because they knew what I was gonna do. Everyone else didn't, and it's just really stupid. They're like, why is the tall guy standing up the front? It's so I can dab low enough. It was good. It's better because it's like, I think it's me and like 10 other women and like one other dude. And he's like at the back. So it's like such a weird ratio of people. It was great. It was very, very funny. Enjoyed it a lot. I was younger when dab was a thing for me. So same with Gangnam Style. It's vintage. It's not Bro, you're gonna make me feel fucking old, thanks. It's not vintage. Dude, I remember planking, like, the fuck? Like, when was planking? Planking was, like, early 2010s, right? I'm sorry, Pop. It's just such a moment when I hear Gangnam Style as vintage. Dude, I still remember doing that shit all around the place. It was great. And just, but yeah, no, dab was, I mean, dab's old, but it's not that old, is it? When was dabbing popular? When was dabbing popular? I'm now curious about this. It's 2015. Fuck, is it almost 10 years? Oh! I was working! I was 16 in 2013. Fuck. Bro, what? At least you're a pre-Shrek baby. That gives you a little bit more, like, room to talk with me. That's the one thing I cannot understand, is how can people be born after Shrek came out? Isn't that, like, illegal? And if they are, like, they're just a kid, right? That's like 5 or something. Dude, oh my god, I'm having a fucking moment here now. What the fuck? Wait, when was planking then? If dabbing was then, when was planking? When was planking a fad? Sure. 2011. Fuck me, really? Was it that long ago? Started phasing out early 2012. Yeah, fucking did. Nobody wanted to play it. Nobody did this shit. Pretty sure kids born after Shrek are like 2. Yeah, that sounds about right. Actually, you want to have an old moment when so fucking let's really like make everyone feel old, including myself, because I'm gonna hate this. Shrek release date 2001. It was June 2001. This was around my birthday too, I just realized. So, realistically speaking, and this is gonna really hurt, like this is gonna do physical damage to a lot of people right now. You could be born after Shrek and be 20. You could be in your 20s and you were born after Shrek. The first movie came out. What does the world come to? Yeah, that's illegal. Yeah, exactly. Nah, it's not okay. Like, what the fuck? Dude, Monster Inc. also came out same year? Hell yeah. Shrek 2. Why are they all in fucking June? Shrek comes out for my birthday, I guess. 2004. Dude, you could be born after Shrek fucking 2 and be in your 20s. What the hell? Oh. Oh. I took more damage there than I thought. Okay. I don't know what I can say to that. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? There you go, you feel real old now. Enjoy. I actually don't know how to respond to this. I was born in the 90s. At least I can say that. And it's somehow legal to be born after 2006 and... Oh god, yeah, it's gonna be true in some countries, right? Oh. Oh no, you can't say that. What? Dude. Oh my god, people born in 2006 could get on the piss. Ah. People born in 2008 can drive legally in New Zealand. What the fuck? I'm actually having a fucking moment here. Holy shit! All right, I'm not gonna recover. I'm dead. I'm old. I'm decrepit. I'm buried. Just bury me out back. It's fucking. God damn it. Bro, I mean, like, this is the worst part is I still think the Xbox 360 is a new console. Like, a brand new console. I still remember, like, I still think the PS2 is not that old. And I know that's fucking old now. I still have my PS2 somewhere. I see it right there. It's on top of my fucking cabinet. And so is my 360. And I've got my PS4, which I think is like super fucking new, but it's not, because now we have the PS5. What the fuck? How about we make a petition right now to cancel Earth in 3 years? I don't want to think that kids born in the year of planking can do anything. You got a point. You got a point, honestly. Like, you know what's worse of all of this is, like, I'm just thinking back to people I knew at like some of these age brackets. Again, like, I know someone that is married, has a kid. Like, I know plenty of people, but I'm just gonna use this one person as an example that I like dated in high school. Like, they've got oh God, there we go. They're married, they have a kid, and all this, and they were like born in 1997. Don't ask about the age stuff. Was I in high school? No, I wasn't in high school. I was out of high school. What's wrong with me? No, I was in high school. No, they were born earlier than that. No, I'm thinking the wrong person. They were born in like 1994? Something like that. Yeah. I despise new consoles for other reasons. That's fair. I mean, I still think Xbox hasn't done anything since 360 that's like worth paying attention to. And PlayStation has games, as much as many people will try and convince you it doesn't. It does have games. The problem is that it just like has like only a few, but they're really good. Still waiting for Bloodborne to get fucking ported to PC, man. Just need it. I still want to play Bloodborne again, especially since that one dude played it recently and fucking like skipped 70% of the game and the DLCs. And was like, is the big talk around when it comes to playing these games. Isn't he also the one that died? It was like, it's Kai something, or I can't remember his name. I apologize to the streamer, but I do still get a chuckle out of the fact that Point Crew's Goldfish did better than he did. Something that you cannot like make up is that some dude's Goldfish played a game like Elden Ring better. Just so good. Is a problem with my generation in general, but I have my own thoughts like this, where some of my peers have 4-year-old kids. Yeah, like that's the thing, right? It's like, it's just because the person I was talking about that has the kid and all that, like the kid's like I think a year old or something. And I remember when like that kid was born, I remember being like it's so weird. It's so weird. I think I'm trying to remember. I didn't attend their wedding, but that's because I was sick at the time with COVID. I always do feel bad for that. But yeah, like it's that sort of shit, right? Like there's, I mean, my best mate has a like fairly long-term partner as well. Pretty much everyone I know except for like a handful are in long-term relationships at this stage and have kids or are married or anything like that. And it's, oh yeah. Yeah, Kai, from what I've seen, he grabbed the most hidden ending and was, and also tried some weapons. I don't blame a person for having skills issue in Bloodborne, not wanting to farm healing. Like, that's the thing, is like, Bloodborne was very, it did have the problem with the healing items. I do think that was actually bad. Because I remember there was a farm route that I had for, like, plenty of people had farm routes, but like we had farm routes for getting the healing items, getting our souls, all that sort of stuff, and it was fine and dandy. But that's a game that you really did need to farm in. And that wasn't like because of souls, that was because of resources. Ammunition, healing, like all that. And I'll be fair, like that game's a frustrating experience if you're not fully prepared for fights. And certain resources are really difficult to come by. So I honestly think it's the problem. He probably went into it underprepared and like didn't have any understanding of it, and then just got frustrated at something and just pushed through. And I think it's kind of a mix of like the problem with the community and a problem with them, where it's like, well, they played the game that they wanted to play and they played it how they wanted to play, but like the way they played it ended up frustrating them in a way that like would have been resolvable if they had played it in a bit more of a conventional manner. So it's, well, I mean, like, in a sense, yeah, that's on Kai. Whereas it's also on the community for like kind of chill out. He played the game how he wants to play it. I do agree with the complaint that like before he did it, he made a big song and dance about like, oh, I want to use my platform and my like thing to try and raise awareness, so like getting the Bloodborne port, which I think is cool. But then like, yeah, again, the way he played the game, not a great showing of the game, and it's probably not a great advertisement of the game, which means that it actually kind of almost falls in on itself of, well, that actually ruins what you were trying to argue for. So it's that difficulty. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he went in blind, from what I heard. Which is cool. I mean, like, being able to go into blind to one of those games sounds awesome. I went in mostly blind for Bloodborne, and I fucking loved that game. I still love that game a lot. I think I've gotten 2 endings myself, and the problem I have with wanting to go back is I want to play with the scythe, but I can't play with the scythe unless I have played New Game Plus. So that's the difficulty. So he had a full intro for Bloodborne. Well, I mean, yeah, like he had his whole room was done up for Bloodborne. He had an outfit for it and everything. So yeah, like he had a big thing for it, but I don't know. It's a favorite game. Yeah, like that's fair. I think I stand by, of the Souls games I've played, is by far the best in my opinion. And like that's not even a small stretch of the imagine. Like, I think the next best in my eyes is Dark Souls 3, and those two aren't even close in my opinion. And then like after that, it's probably like DS1, then DS2. And if you're wondering where the hell is Elden Ring in this list, it's pretty fucking low, and that's a problem I personally have. I openly acknowledge I have a bad habit of dishing out quite negative opinions with open world games in the style that Elden Ring had. I'm not saying it's a bad crafted game, I just know that I personally don't like that, and I would not enjoy that game. Because I would just get... Yeah, I'm not going to get into that argument again. It's just, in short, I do not agree with open worlds. I think there's big problem with them. And I think the problem was perpetuated the moment everyone thought Skyrim was a good idea, and tried to copy it. I think Skyrim was a great game when I played it originally, but if I go back to it now, it is not as good. Fair enough, not everyone likes open world. Yeah, again, like I openly state, I'm not saying Elden Ring's a bad game, it's just not a game I would enjoy. It's the same with like Fortnite, right? I would never probably play Fortnite unless someone twisted my arm and dragged me into it. However, I'm not going to say that it's a bad game. I can definitely say that it's a well-constructed, and there's a reason why it's popular. They've done a lot of things correctly with that game, right? Like, I'm not ignorant to what a good game should be. I just also acknowledge my preferences. And that's what's important, right? Some people can't do that, and that's fine. For me, Skyrim wasn't even good the first time I played it, but I do like open world games. See, I played Skyrim on the Xbox 360. So this is actually like one of my big things for this. I played it on the 360. I didn't have any of the DLC except for the home one, half, something like that. But that one, I absolutely loved the game. I completed pretty much all of it, and I fucking didn't even know where the goddamn throw of the world was until I had like finished a lot of the guilds and stuff like that, right? If that gives any idea, I was really far along in the game before I even went and learned what a fucking dragon shell was. And I was like, oh, these are pretty good. I loved that game a lot. I loved fucking around with that. But that was back, like, again, I played it on the 360. That was back when the 360 was still going and the game was fairly early on. I think I still have the case somewhere to show. It was like the original, like, big edition of it. And I had the map for it and everything. It's cool. So I loved that game back then. Do I like it now? No, because it's the same reason why I don't think I'll ever enjoy one of the Legend of Zelda games that they're doing at the moment, like the Breath of the Wild and the Tears of the Kingdom, is because tell me what the difference is between traveling from one location to another in those games and a load screen. I can tell you what the difference is. It's interactivity. The difference is press F to pay respects. It's a cutscene with interactivity. I don't give a shit about that shit. I really don't care. Oh, you scattered a few extra fights and like a little bit of loot between now and there, cool. Or you could condense it, make a much more constructed map that doesn't hard direct the players. Again, Bloodborne is a great example of this. That doesn't hard direct a character to go somewhere, but it entices a directional movement, which gives me purpose, gives me somewhere to go. Awesome, I love that. Means that I'm not wasting a lot of my time. It's because time is very important to me. I don't get a lot of time to play games. So now I praise Ghost of Tsushima, and it's probably one of the only open worlds I praise because it makes it thematically make sense. Right? Like, you can still fast travel, and that's cool. Spider-Man, another example. So much of the game is built around the web-slinging mobility of the game, it makes sense that that is actually something you really heavily use. Those are two games I think did open world correctly. But do I think every game should be a Skyrim Ubisoft ripoff? No, I think it's a fucking miserable idea, and I think it's just really frustrating. Like, you need to either give really excessive mobility options and almost a reason why it feels like this is correct, but also not enough of a reason, though, at the same time to just go like, well, what's the difference between just having a loading screen here and kind of imagining that the character went from this place to this place. It's in a sense, while those two games I just praised do have this as well, but it's a bad sign in my eyes when fast travel is in an open world. Because if I have to fast travel somewhere, that probably indicates that you've made too big of a map. Whereas, yes, Spider-Man and Tsushima both have fast traveling. Those games have so many little tiny things that make that worth it, in my eyes, and acceptable. And I'm going to be honest, yeah, I would just run around in Tsushima, fucking around, and it made sense. It had enough of a lively environment and atmosphere that it came to value. And Spider-Man, again, the first game, the first PlayStation game, because that's the only one I've played, great for it. I can see that argument in ER, GTA, but it feels... but I feel like the covered loading screens world is, like in Zelda, those enemies are there so you can always be correct. Yeah, I mean, like, in a sense, I see why Legend of Zelda has what it has, right? But I also agree with the Tsushima and Spider-Man argument. Yeah, again, that's kind of my point, is like, there's no correct answer here. There's preference. And that's where I stand in the preference of, I don't like open worlds, but I really like these games. And in a sense, you could actually argue I like Spider-Man and Tsushima in spite of them being open world, and I think they utilize the open world correctly. So I'm good with that. But in like, yeah, no, GTA is a fucking great example. Oh god, why do you need that bigger map? I'm not gonna see like half of it, and it feels like I'm wasting my time with it. Like, that's why I liked Persona. Persona is a great game because it's got like Persona 5 Royale specifically, because it's got enough of an open space you go and explore, but also not wasting a lot of it. It has enough purpose with it, but you also have a lot of areas you're never gonna go fucking see again. Almost every superhero game usually defends their open world because of the great... Yeah, I think Saints Row 4 is a good example of that as well, right? And I can't see that game not being open world, but I do still struggle with open world. But like that's a good kind of in that example of like, I really enjoyed that game. I really enjoyed Saints Row 3 and Saints Row 4 quite a bit personally. 4 probably a bit more than 3. But like that's, yeah, I could not see you having a non-open world for 4 just because of the mobility and the chaos that you can cause. I think the biggest open world I cannot imagine not existing is AC Black Flag without the sea. No, 100%. I will agree with that. I've never played Black Flag, but I still acknowledge to this day that is the best Assassin's Creed game because it was the furthest from being an Assassin's Creed game that they got, and it just was phenomenal. That's why a lot of people didn't like the Skull and Bones game in recent time, is because that promised to be the even less Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and it wasn't that, and that is the mistake. You should have a game that, like, the desire was, and this is what I wanted when I heard this got announced, have a boat, I'm the captain of it, I can go jump on the other ship and kill their captain and take their boat, and now have 2 boats. And then I can, like, make a fleet and shit like that. That is what I wanted the moment I heard it, and I don't think that's fully in if it ever is intended to. Like, I did like the idea of the support boats and stuff that they kind of had, but it's still... I don't know. Saints Row 4, I can't actually see it without open world, just letting us free. Yeah, no, again, that's kind of where I say open world's good in games where you cannot see it not being an open world and the game's good. Right? That I think is correct. But like Jax 3, right, is a good example of, again, it's an open world, but that was directed corridors. You still kind of always ended up looping over yourself. And you would slowly open up the map more and more and more, and that was great. Yeah, I just used a real fucking, as a PS2 example there. Let's go. But that's a good point, though, of it. I'm going to call it here, though. Because, again, I got to do my cleaning and stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. It was awesome having a chat about this stuff, because, again, like, this is stuff I'm very, very passionate about, and I think it's very good to talk over, because then, again, you can formulate your own opinions, you can discuss them with others, and you can potentially find something both people like. But, yeah. So, again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. You're awesome. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you again next time. Till then, bye-bye. Ah, shit, that's the wrong fucking screen. There we go.